Let's sing a song full of hope, full of pain. Why don't you sing along, my friend? For it's our last refrain. Forever young, ever strong, ever brave. Memories like this never end. No, they don't fade away. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. Close to the sun. Here's to the ones who let shine through the rain, the ones who stood for something more. We won't forget your names. The tide is high, say goodbye, we're setting sail, and all those midnight secrets told, we'll take them to the grave. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun. Close to the sun. So when I'm gone, oh, when I'm gone, I'll be right there, close to the sun. Keep holding on, keep holding on. And I'll be right there, close to the sun, close to the sun.
Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine, I hope you're all having fun, I hope you're all safe, and I hope your teams are all set. If not, worry not, the Wizard is here to answer your questions. So I welcome you all to the live stream, my friends, and I thank you all for being here. Hey Matea, FPL Sam, Dakla, Danforth, Sushan, Sirish, thank you so much everyone for being here. I really appreciate it. So let's start. Sushan says I got only 17% battery and electricity is dead and only coming tomorrow. So alright Sushan, no issues my friend. So you asked the question and I'll start by answering your question. You said Vardy as a captain. I think if you want you can make Vardy as a captain. I think that's a differential as a captain and I think it will be a good option because most of the people are going to captain Kane or maybe Salah. So if you want to captain Vardy, and I think if Vardy is going to start, I think he can score against Leeds. So yes, it's a good idea. You can do it in my opinion. Nigel says Kane for Ings. If you want to, Nigel, I think Kane is a better option than Ings in my opinion, in a way that Kane has a double-digit score in him more often than Ings. So yeah, if you want you can do it, but in my opinion Ings can score against anyone and he can score against Aston Villa as well. So yeah, Amar says Foden, Adams in for Soucek, Dominic Calvert-Lewin on a -4. Amar, I wouldn't do it. I would keep Foden and Adams because in this game week, Foden plays against Sheffield United and Adams is in a good form. In first, Souček and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So Souček basically has one difficult game. After that, West Ham United go on a run of really decent games, right? And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I think he's a season keeper. The way he has value. So in my opinion, I would keep Souček and Dominic Calvert-Lewin long term. No -4. Caleb says, Semedo blank, but I'm keeping him. Hopefully he does well. I think if you want a Wolves defender, I think Semedo is as nailed on as you can get because they don't have any good replacements. On the left-hand side, they sometimes play Sias, they sometimes will play Semedo. So, not Semedo, Sias, Marcal. So I think the left side is a little bit dubious. On the right side, on the other hand, I think it's pretty much safe with Semedo. So yeah, it's a good idea to keep him. Sirish says, whom would you start? Cresswell versus Liverpool or Lamptey versus Spurs? That's a very difficult one, my friend. In my opinion, I think both have an attacking intent as well, and I think have chance of getting some attacking returns. In my opinion, I don't think neither Brighton or Cresswell would keep a clean sheet. If I had to make this decision, I would base my decision on whether you are going for an attacking return or a clean sheet. I think Lamptey has more chance to keep a clean sheet, and Cresswell has maybe a little bit more chance to get an attacking return, So it's a very difficult one, my friend. It's hard to say categorically which one to go for. Neva says, what is the transfer plan for this game week? There's no transfer plan, Sid. I'm actually rolling my transfer, and I'm going to make 2 transfers next game week. So that's kind of the plan. Aditya says, Trent Alexander-Arnold is becoming a liability to my team. Should I wait or transfer out? I think Liverpool fixtures are decent. Maybe this week they're playing against West Ham, and next game week Manchester City. But after that, I think they have a decent run of fixtures. But if you think that you can get better value elsewhere, I don't think I would be against selling Trent. Keeping him for 6 game weeks, being patient enough, I think is a good idea. And if you want to move on, I wouldn't hold it against you, my friend. You can do it if you want to. Danford says, the wizard is here to answer your questions. As always, my friend, deadline streaming, answering all your difficult questions in the nick of the time and right at the spur of the moment. Sirish says, hang on, where are the questions? So Sirish says, whom would you captain between Salah, Son and Kane? My friend, that's a very difficult question. I think Salah has a very good record against West Ham. In 6 games, he's scored 6 goals against them and 2 assists. So that's a fantastic record. And I think West Ham is not defensively that solid that Liverpool are not going to score against them. So I think Salah is a perfectly good captain option. Out of Son and Kane, I think, in my opinion, Kane is a better option. But, the way Son is scoring double-digit points, I wouldn't hold it against you if you want to captain Son. It's just not for me. I always tend to go with the safer pick than the explosive one, That's how I am always. Peter says, hi Biz, can you check my new question in the Discord, rate my team? Basically, I want to know what you do. Peter, I think it's going to be very hard for me to check the question. If you can copy paste it here, that would be really, really good. Apologies for that. FPL Sam says, start Click or Harvey Barnes. Really having a quarrel in my mind about this. In my opinion, my friend, I think if you have Harvey Barnes, I think you should start with Harvey Barnes. Leeds are not the most defensively tight team that you'll see, and I think Leicester can score against them. Harvey Barnes has been getting into decent positions, although he's not been getting too many points. If you have him, I'd start Harvey Barnes. Sushan says, you won't believe, but the electricity came the same time the stream started. So my stream's lucky for you, my friend. And it's a good thing because I hope you'll stay through the stream now. James says, is Trent worth playing at 7.4 million? To be honest, I think many of us have these doubts, right? About Trent Alexander-Arnold, we are having doubts about him because not because he's not a good FPL asset. It's mostly because he's 7.4 million and he's not giving you any attacking returns. But in midweek, he got an assist, and I think Liverpool is going to get better eventually, attacking wise as well. But what I can say is that Trent Alexander-Arnold is not as essential as he was at the start of the season, because this season clean sheets are very difficult to come by. Every team is scoring goals, and if Liverpool concede to Sheffield United at home and the way Sheffield bettered them at the start, it's pretty difficult to kind of profess keeping a 7.4 million defender only for the clean sheets. Unless the attacking returns start coming soon, I'd probably move on. Matthias says stream has just started and there are so many questions. This game week gonna be crazy. Honestly, I think this is a very strange game week because many of our teams look really good, and when that happens, guys, you know what happens, right? If you say my team is looking really good, I'm gonna have a great game week, that generally doesn't end well. Never ends well. I'll take all your questions, my friends. So if I'm a little slow, I apologize because there's lots of questions. Stan says, should I transfer out Rodriguez, and if yes, for who? If you have a good bench, Stan, I'd say you keep him on the bench because next week he's gonna be fit to play, and you know, the way he's playing, I think you'll want him back in your team. So it's kind of just wasting 2 transfers for 1 week. So if you have a good bench, I think I'd bench him rather than transfer him out. Danford says, how do you see if I sell Rodriguez for 2 weeks, then I bring him back, and who do you see as a replacement? Danforth, if you want to sell him for 2 weeks, yes, I think that's a good idea. If you want to, you know, if your other team is settled and you don't think you're going to need any transfers, the options, I mean, Pulisic looks like a decent shout, right? Jack Grealish, obviously, everybody who's going to sell Rodriguez, the first option is going to be Jack Grealish because he has really good fixtures till game week 15. So Jack Grealish can be one option, and I think Pulisic can be a decent option as well. If you want to go a little bit cheap, you can go with somebody like McGinn as well. I think that's fine. Even Click from Leeds is a good idea. So yeah. Salib says, should I keep Rodriguez? To be honest with you guys, I mean, if I had Rodriguez in my team, I'd probably keep him, you know, but it's up to you. It's your decision. But I wanted Rodriguez in my team this game week. And if he was fit, I would have transferred out Kai Havertz and brought in James Rodriguez. But since he's not fit, so I'm not making any transfer. So yeah. Lars says, I had Son as my captain all week but changed to Salah after Spurs lost to a team I never heard of yesterday. Lars, I think, you know, we have to kind of put the result in context. Son and Kane were not playing that game, and, you know, Antwerp, I'm not even sure I'm saying the name correct, but yeah, Spurs lost to them, and Mourinho was pretty angry with them. So there could be a reaction as well, or there could be another crazy defeat. So Spurs are never like... this season they are not a team which will give you a middle result. Either they'll bang a team or they'll lose, you know. So I'm hoping for the latter, to be honest with you. Atul says, Barnes and Rodriguez out, Zaha and Foden in. If you want to, you can do it, my friend. I mean, Foden is not nailed on, right? So you could have a problem there because if he gets benched, then you'll feel bad about your game week. Zaha, I think against Wolves is not the best option. But I think you can keep Barnes and bench Rodriguez for this game week. I think for 2 transfers, I don't think this is worth it for this game week, my friend. Aditya says, is keeping Kane in one's FPL team a no-brainer for this season? Yeah, I think definitely. At least one of the Spurs attackers, I mean, Heung-min Son or Harry Kane is definitely a no-brainer, right? Until and unless their form changes, even their fixtures turn a little after a couple of game weeks. So we have to see how they play against the big teams. Because the only big team they've played, bar Everton, of course, I'm talking about the top 6 teams from the previous seasons, right? So apologies to any Everton fans here. So I mean, they lost to Everton, but then they played Manchester United at Old Trafford. But that game was not kind of indication of how they're going to play against the big teams. That was a one-off, right? So to keep them through the season, maybe. Let's see how they do against the big teams, right? Alizar says, hi Wiz, glad you're here. Taylor, Justin, I was hoping to roll my transfer, but then rather than playing the above 2, I want to change Ferguson to Nkunku or Kilman. To be honest with you, my friend, I wouldn't do that because, you know, I'm not even sure about Kilman, and Dini is only banned for 1 game. He's not banned for 3 games. He's going to be back after 1 game. So what happens to Nkunku then? So don't do that, my friend, in my opinion. Reese says, I'm planning to bring in Chilwell and Grealish for Trent and Podence next week with the free transfers. Thoughts on it? I think this is a good idea, my friend. If you want to do it, I think you can do it. Even I'm looking to move on Podence from my team, and hopefully next week is the time when I do it, and I hope he gives me a parting gift. I hope so. Hang on, guys. Let me have a drink of water, please. Excuse me. And Seth says, was thinking of bringing in a Chelsea defender this game week, but it doesn't seem ideal as Burnley has much attempts on goal than Spurs last game week. Banking a transfer I am. I think that's a good idea, my friend. I mean, if you want to bring in Chilwell, I wouldn't be against it. Not at all. I think Chilwell is a good option for any game week because he's attacking as well, and Chelsea is looking better defensively with Edouard Mendy in goal, right? So I wouldn't be against a Chelsea defender. So if you want to go for Chilwell, could be a good idea. If you want to roll, that's perfectly fine for this game week as well. Notfed says, what's your plan to bring in City assets? To be honest with you, Notfed, I'm not really worried about the City assets right now. As long as my Spurs assets are banging and Salah is doing well, I'm not too concerned. I mean, if I wanted to get in a City asset, I'd probably have to make two transfers. I have to transfer out one of my either my forwards or maybe Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I'm not willing to do that just yet. If City bang and City are back in absolutely good form, then maybe. But I still feel that with their striker injuries and they don't have a clear plan as to how they're playing, and they're suffering with all the injuries. KDB got injured, and then Aguero is now injured. Gabriel Jesus is not back, so I just feel that they're not settled. So that's my opinion. Sheriff says, thoughts on Sterling captain? Have two transfers, using one to get in Wilson for Mope. Yeah, I think Sterling captain is a good shot for this game week. He's gonna be a big differential, to be honest with you, and I wouldn't be against Sterling captain. They're playing against Sheffield United. I mean, Sheffield did look really good against Liverpool. I'd give them that. But other than that, they've looked really ordinary this season, and people are already talking about them as relegation candidates. Although I don't think they're going to be relegated, but I don't think they're going to reach anywhere close to where they were last season. If you want to captain Sterling, I think that would be a good differential, and yeah, you can do it. Christian says, hi mate, would you do Trent Alexander-Arnold, James Rodriguez and Mope for Chilwell, Rashford and Bamford for a -4? I mean, that looks really appealing to me, Christian. I think these are all the players that I'm kind of looking at, and for a -4, that doesn't seem too difficult or too too bad of a transfer. Bamford is playing against Leicester, but the way Leeds is creating chances, I mean, he can score against anyone, right? Rashford is in the form of his life he scored a hat-trick against Leipzig in midweek, and Chilwell. I guess these transfers can pay you back, I don't think there's too much of a risk that the players you are transferring out can match these players. Hopefully. I hope I'm not wrong. Pedro says, hi there, I have two free transfers. Martinez, Foster, Robertson, Chilwell, Ayling, Lamptey, Saez, Grealish. Oh, that's difficult one to read the entire team, but I'll tell you. Do I burn the transfer? Do I sell or burn the transfer? You've got good defense, my friend, and I think your midfield is ideal. I mean, if you just bench James and play one of the defenders, I don't think there's any need of a transfer. I think your team looks good, my friend. All right, let's move on. James playing says Mohamed Samau. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if James is playing because Carlo Ancelotti has ruled him out. He said that he's not going to play this game week, so I don't think he's bluffing. I think he's going to rest him this game week. So in my opinion, it's a good idea to bench him. Don't sell James Rodriguez if you don't have to, guys. Although the next game is not getting any easier. He's playing against Manchester United. But I think James Rodriguez, at 8 million, you can keep him through the season, even if he has some difficult games. Jeff Kingston says, best 4.5 million defender and 7.3 million midfielder. That's a very specific question, my friend. 4.5 million defender, I don't think there's exactly a best one. But I'm looking at Kufal. I think West Ham fixtures are turning, and after this game week, I think Kufal can be a good idea at 4.5. 7.3, I think you can't look past Grealish. I think around that, I think Grealish is a good idea. Who else? Who else can we talk about in the same? I think, all the Aston Villa midfielders like McGinn, Barclay, and Grealish are good assets. I mean, I like the look of Leandro Trossard, but he hasn't been returning, so I don't want to say that Trossard, but I just think that these are the good ideas. I mean, I think Zaha has good fixtures, but not for this game week, right? I think Wolves is too defensively tight, and maybe Zaha will get a return against them and prove me wrong, but I just don't feel that he's gonna do well this game week. But who knows? Yeah. Alazar says, who would you play? Taylor, Justin? I think I'd play Justin, my friend. At least he has an attacking threat. Taylor, I'm not so sure. I think I think this not much between them, to be honest with you, and there's not going to be much difference between them either. So, but if I was you, I'd play Justin. Sean says, "Is that your team for this week?" Pretty much, my friend. I haven't made any transfer. My team is the same as last week's, and I'm rolling over a transfer next week. Hopefully, I can make 2 or 3 transfers and make some changes to my team. So yeah, I think that's it. Aditya says, thoughts on transferring out Podence to Foden for this game week. I mean, do you really want to transfer out Podence to Foden? I mean, Foden has a good match this game week, but after this, what happens? They play against Liverpool, and who else do they play against? Hang on, I'm sorry. I should be knowing my stuff, guys. I just sometimes it skips my mind, right? Who are they playing against? Let me see. Liverpool and Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham is not the easiest game as well, so I wouldn't be doing that. I think keeping Podence is a good idea unless you're moving him on for somebody else. But if you really want Foden, then I think Foden is a good option. I'm just saying that the fixtures are difficult. Rob says, I have 2 free transfers, 0.7 million in the bank. Mahrez, Steer, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Reece James, Size. Guys, if you can ask me pointed questions, it would be really better because there's too many questions and I think it takes me a long time to kind of read a long question. I really hope you give me more pointed questions so I can answer quicker. Christian says, hi mate, would you do Trent Alexander-Arnold? I think I already answered that. Hang on, where's the question there? Danford says, I really needed Pulisic, but I can't afford him. Is Ziyech a decent shout? Because I don't want Zaha and I don't want double on Aston Villa. I'm not even sure if Hakim Ziyech is going to start Danford. It's very hard to kind of say, tell you to get Hakim Ziyech in without knowing that, he's going to start or not. So it's a difficult one in my opinion. Yeah, you don't want to double up on Aston Villa. I understand that. You shouldn't get Grealish and Barkley. Definitely. And you don't want to get Zaha, I understand that as well. But I can't advocate for Ziyech. I want to watch him play and then make a decision. Dakla says Rodriguez is out, but I'm keeping. Who should I start? Lamptey, Brewster, Mitchell. I think out of these I'd probably start Lamptey. Sean says, who should I take out for Podence? Can you ask me a question again? I think I didn't understand properly, my friend. Nike says, hi Wiz, please suggest me a mid below 6 million to replace Havertz. Nike, I think below 6 million, I really like the look of McGinn, right? And I really like the look of Klish as well, or Click of Leeds. Guys, we need to decide what I should call him. Every time I say his name, I have to say Click or Klish. I'm actually gonna go to YouTube and find his pronunciation, and I'm gonna start saying that. But in my opinion, McGinn or Click is good, my friend. Aditya says, thoughts on transferring output. I already answered that. Jeff says, thanks bro, you're welcome Jeff. Hey Razif, welcome to the live stream. Mohammed Alishbani says, best wildcard plan. In my opinion, do you want to make a wildcard team? I think it's pretty evident for this game week, right? You just get in the, for the long term, I think Kane, Son, Salah. You can get in somebody like Bamford and Calvert-Lewin. Midfield is pretty much picks itself, right? Grealish, and then you get the defense of Robertson and somebody like Luke Ayling or Dallas and one of the Wolves defenders. I think it pretty much picks itself at the moment. I think we have a patron, Alishbani. You can go for that, my friend. Geeta says, hi, some comments on Rodriguez shift or for Jorginho or wait. Geeta, I think I'd wait, my friend. If you have somebody good on the bench to play, so I'll answer all the James Rodriguez questions in one go. I'll just say, if you have James Rodriguez, guys, if I had James Rodriguez, I would be tempted to keep him. The way he was playing, I think he's going to get returns in FPL. So if he's back after 1 week, I wouldn't transfer him out unless you have a pressing problem with him, or you have transfers to burn. You can do it. Otherwise, I would keep him. Mitrovic scoring is 50-50 versus West Brom. I think this game week, guys, Ademola Lookman, 5 million of Fulham, and Mitrovic seem like really good options. West Bromwich aren't doing much, so Mitrovic and Ademola Lookman look really good options for this game week, but only for this game week, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Razif says, do you think it's okay TAA to Chilwell? If you want to, Razif, I think it's okay. I'm not advocating keeping Trent Alexander-Arnold, but I am not going to transfer him out until I wildcard, so he's going to stay in my team. But if you want to, you can do it, because Trent Alexander-Arnold hasn't had too many attacking returns this season, right? So he did get an assist in the midweek in the Champions League, but that isn't be all. And so if you want, you can transfer him out, my friend. Parva says, is taking De Bruyne a good option after international break or double Liverpool midfield? I mean, I haven't seen enough from De Bruyne to kind of say bring him in. I mean, Salah and Mane look really good. If you can get them both in, then I think it would be a good idea. But I think that would kind of put too much money in the midfield, my friend. So I think it's a better idea to kind of spread the money around. Ali says, should I swap Podence out for Grealish or Zaha this week? I mean, Ali, it's not the most pressing thing you want to do. I mean, if you want to, you can do it. I mean, Zaha has a difficult game, right? Grealish has an okay game. Grealish can score points against Southampton. So if you want to, you can move. But if you want to wait 1 week, that would also not be a bad idea. Nike says, will Bamford turn out to be the next Pookie? I have a strong feeling. Guys, I'll just talk to you about Bamford, right? What happened was, at the start of the season, I do this check of all the players that come up from the championship, and I read all about Bamford, and he had such a high XG, but he missed so many chances, and I thought that he's not clinical. But for some reason, in the Premier League, he's proving to be crazy clinical and finishing all the big chances that he gets. And I think he's going to continue to get big chances because of the way Leeds are playing and pressing. So I think Bamford might not be the next Pookie. I mean, he might not continue the same form he's in, but I think he'll continue on taking over. And for a 5.9 million player, he's not bad. Not bad at all. So kind of changed my stance on Bamford a little bit. Plan for next week says Sid. Sid, I think plan for next week is kind of difficult to kind of tell you right now, but possibly moving on Havertz for somebody like James Rodriguez, and maybe moving on Podence. So I'll see, my friend. I can't say that this is a fixed plan, but my priority in my team is to kind of move out. Who should I move out, right? So I'm happy with my bench players, not a problem. I think maybe Che Adams, I can move him on, but not the pressing problem. I'll see how Havertz does against Burnley. If he doesn't do well, I'll probably move him on, and Podence as well. Roman Size, let's see what happens with him. So yeah, your captain is fixed on Kane, says Geeta. Pretty much, Geeta. Yeah, I think it's fixed on Kane. I'm not thinking about moving my captain, my friend. I think Salah is the second best captaincy option in my opinion. I think actually he's an equally good captaincy option because of his record against West Ham. Let me tell you their records. In 6 games against West Ham United, Salah has 6 goals and 2 assists. In 6 games against Brighton, Kane has 4 goals. I mean, Salah has the better record against the opponent, but I still feel that the way Spurs are playing, I think Kane can do well. So yeah, both are good options, guys. Please don't ask me to choose one between Salah and Kane. Go with your instinct, because this will be a very, very hard thing for me to say, right? You can see who I selected, so you know what I think, right? So if you keep on asking me between Kane and Salah, it would be very hard for me to answer that. Apologies for that. Atul says, hey, was Walker Peters or Mitchell? Walker Peters, my friend. Tejas says, Bruno over KDB. I think yes, you can pick Bruno Fernandes. I think he's in a good form, and I think he has many ways to give you FPL points. Just like KDB, right? He takes penalties, he takes free kicks, sometimes corners. He can score from open play. There is nothing not to like about Bruno Fernandes as an FPL asset. Definitely a good idea. If I had the money, I would move Havertz to Bruno Fernandes for this game week. Definitely would do it. Hang on, guys. I'm going to take a water break. Let me have a sip of water, please. Alrighty, back. Alazar says Antonio's injury is messing up every manager's plan. I think David Moyes said he could be back next week, so let's hope for the best. He exactly didn't say he would be back next week, but he said something to that effect, right? So N says, do you think Barkley will return this week? My friend, it's very hard to say. You never know with Southampton. Which Southampton gonna turn up? The one that conceded 5 goals to Spurs, or the one that kind of beat big teams or drew with Chelsea or beat City last year? at the end of the season. You'd never know with Southampton. Very hard to say, you know. So, yeah, if the same Southampton that played against Spurs with the high line turn up, I think Ollie Watkins and Grealish will have a time of their life. But I don't think they will. Tejas says Barkley can return this weekend if he's on a penalty. Let's see. I'm not sure who's on penalties for Aston Villa. I've been wanting to know that, but I don't. Ole Johnny says West Ham defense now fixture gets better. I think, yeah, Kufal looks really good for 4.5. At 5 million, I'd possibly go for Cresswell. Their defense looks really good, and Cresswell is creating lots of chances, so chance of attacking returns there as well. Nike says, if you can upgrade on mid or forward with Rashford or Kane respectively, which one would you choose? At this moment in time, I'd like to say I'd choose Kane, my friend, because I think Kane is more consistent and he has more ways to score than Rashford. I mean, Kane can score from a header, he can provide an assist from deep to Son, and you know he takes penalties for Spurs. Rashford is not on penalties unless Bruno is off the field. Rashford is not on penalties. Rashford doesn't take corners. He can't score headers. The only way he's going to score is from open play, and although he's really good at it, and I don't say, but out of Kane and Rashford, I'd pick Kane, definitely. Tejas says, Geeta says, Ings or Jimenez, as both are same value. To be honest, this might seem a bit controversial, but if I've had to pick one right now, I'd pick Danny Ings. Although Jimenez has been returning consistently for the past 2 weeks, I just don't feel that he's or not Jimenez, even Wolves as a whole are not in a good form right now. So yeah, I wouldn't kind of go with Jimenez. I'd go with Danny Ings. Right, I've finally caught up to the questions, guys. I've got to the end of the chat and now I can easily answer the questions. I hope I answered all of them, guys. Apologies if I didn't. Fad says, Foden a good choice. Fads, it depends if you want to ask me for this week or you want to ask me for the long term. I mean, if you want to keep him long term, he's a good choice. For this week, he's a good choice. For the next 3-4 game weeks, maybe not so much because City play against Liverpool, against Tottenham, a couple of difficult fixtures in there. So yeah, that's the problem. Yeah, so guys, if you're enjoying the stream and I hope I've answered your questions, please do consider liking and subscribe to the channel. That would really help me. I'm actually about 20 subscribers away from 2000, so I would really appreciate if we can get to 2000 in this stream. Thank you so much. Sid says, thanks Wiz, it's kind of getting late in here, so see you on your next stream. Good luck, may the arrows be green. Good luck, Sid. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Siddharth says, what are your plans today, bro? Sorry I joined late because of Lakshmi Puja. Congratulations, Siddharth. Thank you for being here, my friend. And the plan is nothing, my friend. I'm rolling my transfer and I'm hoping for the best. Hit and hope, my friend. Next week I'm gonna possibly make 2 or 3 transfers. Sai says, Rashford from week 9, he will be on fire. I am considering Rashford. To be honest with you, I even thought about bringing Rashford for this game week against Arsenal. I actually have the money to do it. I can move Havertz to Rashford and I have the money, I can do it, right? But I thought maybe give Havertz 1 more week. Always do that. I always do that, but I give players too much time. But yeah, Rashford is a good option. Aditya says, who do I replace? Castan, 0.1 off Chilwell, don't like Reguilon. Yeah. I think Chilwell would have been the best option, but since you don't have the money, my friend, I think if you can get Cresswell, not for this game week, but for the long term, I think that would be a good option. You can even go for somebody like Konsa. So yeah, you can downgrade to Konsa, you can get somebody like Cresswell. Their fixtures are good, my friend. And I mean, I don't want to say that, but Bellerin looks like a good choice for the long term. I mean, Arsenal are playing so defensive. Their defenders might not be a bad option this season. ITX says, Wiz, what's up? Hey, I'm fine. I hope you're fine too. Just, yeah, discussing the usual FPL stuff here. Parva says, if you had to pick one City player, who would you take? I would definitely, at this moment in time, I'd definitely take Sterling. If De Bruyne was fit and I knew he's going to play all the games, I'd pick De Bruyne. But at this moment in time, Sterling. Tejas says, Geeta. So he's answering Geeta. So yeah, let's move on. Nigel says, Grealish, Zaha, Rashford, or Barnes. Which be the better option. Grealish, Zaha or Rashford? I think if you can go for Rashford, there's not a question, my friend. Go for Rashford if you can. FPL Sam says Raz captain again, so he's been captaining Raz for the past 3 game weeks. So wish you all the best, my friend. Good luck. Mitchell Play says Mooney. I don't know what that means. Mooney, please, can you elaborate? N says I need a replacement for Rodriguez. Who would you recommend? Can't afford Bruno. If you can afford Rashford, I would go for Rashford. If you can't, then there's the usual suspects like Grealish. You can go with Klish or Click of Leeds, and I like the look of McGinn as well. Pretty much, I think it's a good option. Yeah. But in my opinion, if you can keep Rodriguez, keep him, my friend. So yeah. Replacement for Rodriguez, guys. I've talked about Rodriguez a lot. I hope I'm answering all your questions. Since it is the same question, right? I just don't want to answer it again and again. Please, I hope you all understand. Edward says replacement for Podence. I think for like you can go for McGinn. I think McGinn is a good option, to be honest with you. If you want to downgrade, you can go for Jorginho, but I wouldn't go for Jorginho because I'm not sure if he's going to be on penalties. He's already missed 2 this season, and Lampard was saying that he might reconsider the penalty takers, right? So yeah. Dakla says, are you nervous for the Wolves lineup? Dakla, no, I'm not nervous. If Saiss doesn't play, I think Kyle Walker-Peters comes in, it's fine. I mean, you can never say. I think FPL community is too much worried about Saiss. I think Saiss is fine. He played the game, he got subbed off at 67 minutes, and then they conceded a goal. So I think it would have been a better option to keep on Saiss. I mean, I'm not saying that the goal was because of Markal, but still, So I think it's fine. It's gonna be okay. If he doesn't start, he doesn't start. I'm not worried about that. Suleiman says Mings or Zuma. I think Mings has the better fixtures, but Zuma is also a good option because he has this threat from set pieces. But if I had to select one for my team, I'd possibly go for Mings, although it might sound controversial. Kirtan says have Mane, Salah, Son, Click, Jimenez, Dominic Calvert-Lewin 2 free transfers. If I transfer Jimenez to Kane, then Rodriguez to whom 5.5 million in the bank. If you want to, you can do Jimenez to Kane and Rodriguez to McGinn. That could be a good option in my opinion. Long term, good option. Why do you still have Trent Alexander-Arnold, says Edward. To be honest with you, I have never thought about transferring out Trent Alexander-Arnold, Edward. I know he's not returning. I know he's not doing well. But I want one Liverpool defender, and ideally I'd have Robertson, right? But since I picked him at the start, and I don't see any reason, because I had to make other transfers to improve other areas of my team, and if I wildcarded, I would possibly transfer him out. But since I had other problems, I kept him, and I intend to keep him until I wildcard. I'm not gonna kind of transfer him out until I wildcard. Sheriff says Son, Mane, Salah, Kane. Who should be the captain? Out of them, to be honest with you, my friend, this is a very difficult question because I think they're all good options. Out of these two, if I had to rank them, I'd go number 1, Salah and Kane. Both are number 1. 2, Son. 3, Mane, based on the form. Now watch Mane score the most points of them. But logically speaking, this is my order. So yeah, it's very hard to kind of categorically say that yes, go captain this player because they're all in good form and they all have a decent fixture. Edward says, should I play Saiss? 100%. Why not, my friend? If he doesn't start, he doesn't start. Play him. Suleiman says Alisson or Martinez. That's a difficult one, but if I had Alisson, I'd possibly go with Alisson. You shouldn't have 2 playing keepers, my friend. It gives you headache every week. Edward says, should I play Saiss? Again, I answered that, yeah. So Buckshot says, is Kane your locked captain? Yes, Buckshot, I think he is. I don't want to change in the last minute, because there's nothing between them, to be honest with you. How should we choose our captain? We can watch the games and we can see the stats. I've done both. I've read the stats, I've watched the games. I still can't decide between them. So we go with our gut. I said both are good captains, right? Salah and Kane are good captains, guys. Now you go with your instinct. I'm not even saying Son is also a decent captain option, but in my opinion, for me, the number 1 choice was between Kane and Salah. Guys, this season, I'm going for one thing. I want to nail my captain picks. I'm not saying I want to get 15 points or for my captain every week. I just don't want to have a captain blank. This is my target. This is the way I'm playing. This is what I'm aiming for. And this is how I'm making my transfers. So, yeah. Edward says, thanks. You're welcome, my friend. Robert says, Walker Peters or James Justin. In my opinion, Walker Peters plays against Aston Villa away and Justin plays against Leeds away. To be honest with you, this is a very difficult one, my friend, but I think I'd pick James Justin just over Walker Peters. Edward says Ayling or Kyle Walker Peters. You can see my decision, my friend. In my team, I have Ayling and Walker Peters, and I've put Ayling in my team, so you know what I think about that, right? Lemon says Oba or Son. What do you mean Oba? No, and I wouldn't have Oba in my team. Lemon, you need to get him out, my friend. He's in a really bad form. He's gone 5 games without a goal, not looking really involved in the attack as well. Arsenal are just defending, passing between the central defenders all the time. You know, reminds me a little bit of the Emery era. I don't want to say that, but yeah. You know, I think Arteta wanted OR and he didn't get him, and he lacks creativity. Now let's not start the Ozil debate here on the stream. Alrighty, guys. Geeta says Foden or Pulisic. Pulisic, my friend. No doubt about that. He scored a hat-trick at Burnley, but I'm not letting that influence my decision. I still say that Pulisic is a good option. Definitely he is. Damdi, can you ask me a more pointed question? It's very hard for me to read the entire question. Apologies for that, please. Ask me a more pointed one and I'll answer. Peter says, Mane to Son on a free transfer or bank the free transfer. I think, Peter, we discussed this on our Discord, right? So, guys, the link for the Discord is in my description. If you want to join our Discord chat, you're most welcome. So, Peter, in my opinion, Mane to Son can be a good option, you know, but it is both ways. I think Mane can score points against West Ham as well, and Mane has a decent record against West Ham, don't get me wrong. So if you want to do it, you can do it. But remember, Mane plays against City next week, and Son plays against... Son has an easier game, I just don't... Damn, I should remember these things, guys. West Brom. So yeah, Son has 2 good fixtures. Mane has 1 good fixture. You can go to Son next game week if you want to, or you can kind of, you know, you can keep him. It depends, my friend, because there's not one good answer. I'm sorry, I don't know how to say it categorically. Ali says, which defender should I remove between Lascelles, Justin, Mitchell and Taylor? I think you can remove one of Mitchell or Taylor, my friend. I would play Lascelles and Justin. Mitchell and Taylor, if you want, you can remove. I think not the best defensive options, Ali, to be honest with you, my friend. Sharif says, playing more defenders is risky. They get less points if they concede 2 or more. Yeah, that's true, but you know, yeah, this season I think defenders, we need to invest more in midfield and forwards. In general, there are some defenders every season who get you lots of points, but this season it seems a little dubious. This is a very strange season. It's an anomaly in itself, but yeah, in my opinion, this season we need to invest more in forwards and midfield. Shahir says Havertz or Pulisic. Pulisic, in my opinion. Suleiman says, do you think Liverpool will concede? I think West Ham are in really good form, but I think they will really miss Antonio in this game, because without Van Dijk, he would have bullied those defenders. He would have bullied Gomez, he would have bullied, of course, this new guy, Rice Williams. He could have easily bullied Rice Williams, and if Joel Matip comes back, maybe Matip could match him, but Antonio would have had a field day. Since he's not there, I think Liverpool might concede, might not concede, but they have a less chance to concede. Alright, let's move on. AFW Gaming says Foden and James to Bruno and Lookman. James, I'm sorry. Foden and James to Bruno and Lookman. Yeah, I think that's a good move, my friend. If I was you, I would do it. You know, but remember, Lookman is not going to play West Bromwich Albion every game week, so you might want to transfer him out pretty soon. But for this game week, looks like a very good move. Caleb says, should I start Brewster or Kyle Walker Peters? That's a difficult one, my friend. But I think there's not going to be much between them. I think Kyle Walker Peters and Brewster both get similar points this game week, so There's not much between them for this game week. If I was you, I'd possibly start Brewster. Fanda says, which two would you bench out of Kilman, Patrick Van Aanholt, McGinn, and Sayes? My word, I think I'd possibly bench Kilman and Patrick Van Aanholt. I'd play McGinn and Sayes. Stick or twist with Wilson. Avishka, stick. In my opinion, Wilson, you keep through the season, he gets you a decent amount of points. He won't score every game week, but I think he's decent. Peter says, good point. Bogan says, Rashford or Bruno. If you have the funds, I'd go with Bruno. Definitely. If you were to get rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who comes to your mind? Chilwell comes to my mind, my friend. I think Chilwell is a very good option. With Chelsea having good fixtures, I think Chilwell is a good option. And otherwise, if I wanted a like-for-like replacement, I'd possibly go for Robertson. Not many good defenders. I mean, even Castan, the one who was doing really well, got injured as well. So, yeah. Otherwise, next game week, you can go for somebody like Cresswell as well. Toxic Samurai says, do you think Kane will get more points than Son? Maybe not, my friend. Maybe Son will get more points than Kane. I'm happy having both of them. I just want to have a captain that has more avenues to score a goal than just open play, right? Sometimes teams will sit back and defend, and Tottenham will win a penalty or need to win a penalty, kinda, So I think Kane has more ways to score a goal. He can score headers from corners. I mean, Son did score a header against Burnley, but it wasn't a usual header, right? So yeah, maybe Son score more points, but I like to go for a safe captain pick. That's the way I play the game, guys. I always say my way is not the only way. It is not the best way. It's just how I think about things. I like to be safe with my captain picks, and that's very important to me for peace of mind, right? So yeah. Guys, can you hear me clearly, or is the stream lagging? I can see there's a little bit of a problem with my internet again. So if you have any problems, apologies for that. Noel says, Mope to Bamford for a -4. No, my friend, not this game week. Go for Bamford next week. Don't take a -4. I think Mope has a chance to score against anyone, and I think Brighton is a good enough attacking team to get 1 goal against Spurs. And even if not for a -4, in my opinion. Pat says Bruno, KDB, or Watkins. Out of them, I'd possibly go for Bruno or Kevin De Bruyne, not for Watkins, my friend. Mahrez, keep or sell. This is a very difficult one, Ajaya. The thing is, you never know with Mahrez, because if he starts, he has a good chance to get points against Sheffield United. But, I'm not sure what happened with Pep and Mahrez. Even when he doesn't have more options, he's still not starting Mahrez. If I was you, I would keep him 1 game week and then sell. Rodriguez to Ziyech. Daniel, if you're sure that Ziyech is gonna start for Chelsea, then yes, you can do it. But if I was you, I'd be more inclined to go for somebody like Pulisic, because we know that Pulisic has more chance to start. Because he didn't play in the midweek game, right? He just came on at the end and scored a goal, so yeah. Geeta says, since can't vote Pulisic, so Zaha or Jorginho or Foden. Out of these three, I'm just liking the look of Zaha more than Jorginho or Foden because of the fixtures. Toxic says Chilwell for Alexander-Arnold. If you want to, I think that's a decent move, my friend. I think Chilwell has better fixtures than Alexander-Arnold, and if you don't have any other problems in your team, and if you want to get rid of Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I think Chilwell is a good option. 100%. Avishka says 3.1 in the bank, Foden to Rashford. Yes, if I was you, I would do it, my friend. I think Rashford is a good option. I thought for my team as well. I was thinking to move Havertz to Rashford a little bit, right? But I thought not for this game week, since Chelsea are playing Burnley, so I didn't do it. But I think Rashford is a good option. Kirtan says Jimenez to Kane, worth it, faith or form? In my opinion, I did the same move a couple of game weeks back, and it has paid me back really well, my friend. Kane has 2 good fixtures. Same with Jimenez, right? Out of the next 3, Jimenez has 2 good fixtures and Kane has 2 good fixtures. I just feel that Kane has a bigger haul in him than Jimenez. So if I was you, I would do it. Suleiman says on wildcard, Vardy or Bamford. My friend, there is no comparison between them. Vardy is like 10 million, Bamford is like 5.9 million. But I mean, it's very hard to kind of say Vardy or Bamford. It's a difficult one to answer. But yeah, Bamford is desirable. If you kind of can get Bamford, I would get Bamford. Jirit says, can hear you fine. Alright, that's cool. FPL Sam says, no problems. MUFC Forever says, hi. Hey bro. Khaleesi says, Martinez, Sias, Robertson, Chilwell, Podence, Son, Bruno, Salah, Grealish. How is my team, Viz? Khaleesi, hell, I like all the names I see there. If I had to wildcard, that would be my team, and that would how my team would look like, with the exception that I would have Kane as well, alongside Ings and Calvert-Lewin. Good team. Aditya says, Rodriguez to Grealish and Castan to Chilwell. Aditya, I like those moves, but to be honest with you, you will wanna get Rodriguez back once he's fit and playing again. So if you can take that risk, I think that those are a couple of good moves. I have Jimenez and Calvert-Lewin as my strikers. That's fine, my friend. I think they're both good options. Skip says, will Sai start? Who knows, my friend? We can only, this season there are no early team users because the deadline was pushed back. So who knows whether Sai is going to start or not. We can only go on the previous game weeks. And I think Sai is fine to start, in my opinion. Again, guys, since I have Sai in my team, so you can see that I think that he's going to start. If he doesn't, fair enough. Kyle Walker-Peters can come in, and even if Sai comes on after halftime or whatever, I am taking this risk. Desmond says, triple captain Kane. I mean, that's a difficult one to say, my friend. Brighton have conceded the lowest chances of all the teams in the league. So if I tell you to triple captain Kane, I don't think I would tell you to do it based on the stats. But Brighton have conceded a lot of goals from the big chances they concede. So basically they concede very few big chances. But out of the big chances that they concede a lot of goals from that. So if you want triple captain Kane, it's up to you. I wouldn't do it. Just won't take the risk. I think there will be better game weeks. I mean, Spurs will play Fulham. Why not triple captain, put triple captain Kane at that time? Yeah. Roland says McGinn, Adams, Podence, bench 1. The most difficult of questions today, guys, or always, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so McGinn, Adams, or Podence, he has to bench 1. I guess based on the form, you can possibly bench Podence. Very difficult for me to say, my friend. They're all similar options, right? But that's what I would do. Peter says, remember to like and subscribe for more live streams. Thank you so much for the shout out, Peter. Super M Gaming says, why is nobody considering Vardy? Leeds have had defensive problems against quick forwards. I mean, I think Vardy is a good option. Not many people have Vardy because he was injured, right? So many transferred him out, and that's the reason they're not considering Vardy. If I had Vardy, possibly, yeah, I would consider him. I would consider him, but probably still end up captaining Salah or Kane. But yeah, having Vardy is a good option. Most goofy fun in the Premier League. Not sure what I understand what you mean, my friend, but yeah. William says, Son or Kane for captain. You know what I think, my friend? Since I have my captaincy on Kane, I think Kane is a safer pick. Son is the more explosive one. So if you can take a risk on the explosive pick, I think he can give you more points than Kane. But I think Kane is going to get 1 return at least, and that's why I've placed my captaincy on Kane. You might think that's a very boring strategy, guys, but I think over the season it pays off. Sheriff says Bamford surprised us last game week. Definitely did. Jirit says, is 3-4-3 a lot more optimal than 3-5-2 statistically? To be honest with you, I think 3-4-3 is more flexible than 3-5-2, because in 3-4-3, you'll have 1 cheap forward and 2 strong forwards, so it can be very easily molded to other formations. 3-5-2 makes you much more rigid, in my opinion, because I think good midfielders are more expensive than good forwards this season. Jones says, should I sell Trent for Robertson and use the extra cash to upgrade my keeper? Also, who's the best keeper? I have McCarthy. Jones, I think this game week you're fine, my friend. You don't need to do it this game week. Maybe in the upcoming game weeks you can do it, but not this game week. Yeah. Suleiman says, thoughts on Helder Costa? I think Klitsch is the better option than Helder Costa, my friend. Saroj says, why Kane, no Salah? I think both are good options, my friend. There's not much to choose between them. I just went with my instinct, but I think both are good options. 100%. Zaha versus Pulisic. I think out of those two, I'd possibly pick Zaha a little bit over Pulisic. Yeah. I want to see Pulisic play, score some goals in the Premier League before I can recommend him categorically over Zaha. Subro says Sterling's a good captain choice. Rotation risk is involved. No, I don't think there is any rotation risk with Sterling. I think Sterling is going to start, so he's a good captain choice, yes. When do you plan to triple captain, says Jones? I'm going to triple captain in a double game week, my friend. I never generally triple captain in a single game week, so hopefully when the double game weeks come along, I'm gonna have a triple captainship right in my back pocket to use it. Pushin says Salah or Kane captain. I've answered that question I don't know how many times, guys. Go with your gut, Pushin. They're both good options. Nothing between them to choose in the eye test or the stats, so I went with Kane, but I feel both are good. Will Zuma keep his place now that Rudiger is back? Peter, I think yes, Zuma will keep his place. I think Zuma is doing well, and I think Lampard likes him as well. So yeah. William says Pulisic in for James Rodriguez or Zaha. To be honest with you, I'm tempted to say Pulisic because they have a good run of games, but so does Zaha. But for this game week, I just can't recommend Zaha. For this game week, I'm saying long term, Zaha. You can pick Zaha for the long term. James says, should I pick Callum Wilson or Saint Maximin? Callum Wilson, my friend. He has more threat, 100%. William Cuthbert says Zaha captain. No, William, I wouldn't do it, my friend. I think that's too much of a risk against Wolves. I wouldn't do it. Pushin says Robertson versus Arnold. 100% Robertson at this moment in time. Aditya says between Justin, Sias, who would you... between Justin and Sias, who would you start? Also, any thoughts Foden or Mitchell will start? I think Foden will start. Mitchell, I'm not so sure because Patrick Van Aanholt is back, so I'm not so sure. Between Justin and Sias, I'd start Sias, my friend. John says, I like how you call us your friends. So cool. Thank you so much. You're all my friends. This is all a community, guys. We're all in this together, right? Nehal says Dean hold this week, also best captain choice. Nehal, yeah, I think I would hold Dean because Dean is only out for 1 week. So yeah, I would hold Dean, and best captain choice, I think you can choose between Kane and Salah. I did a lot of analysis. I couldn't find anything to decide between Kane and Salah. I think they're both good. Salah has 6 goals and 2 assists in 6 games against West Ham United, and Kane has 4 goals. So there's not much to choose between them, my friend. So hard for me to say which one to select between them. So yeah. No, not Dean. He has a red card. He can -2 can get you. I think Dean is a good option. Yeah, keep him, my friend. Davies versus Sias. I would start Sias, Jones. Thank you so much for subscribing. I see really a couple of people have subscribed. I really thank you so much. James says, what are your transfer plans? James, I have made no transfer, my friend, and I don't have any plan to make any transfer for this game week. So I roll my transfer and I make 2 transfers next week. I think my team looks fine for this game week, innit? So, the only thing I was considering is maybe my captaincy, but transfers, I think I already had. Actually, I wanted to transfer out Havertz for James Rodriguez, but since he's injured, so I'm keeping my transfer. Podence to start, any guesses? Nehal, I think he's been doing well over the past few game weeks. Maybe he's again gonna get 60 minutes, so who knows, but I'm gonna take this risk because I think he has a couple of really good he's had a couple of really good chances to score. He's just been unlucky, right? So he'll play again for 65 minutes. I'm fine with that. Mohammed says Son or Sterling captain. Out of these two, I'd possibly go with Sterling, my friend. I'm sorry, guys. You asking me these questions right at the spur of time, and I reply from my head. I try to analyze these questions, but I really, this is my honest opinion, right? Aditya says, first time to this channel, liked and subscribed. Will definitely support from here on. Great advice, Wiz. Thank you so much, Aditya. I really appreciate it, my friend. Raja says, since Milivojevic come to the squad, do you think Zaha will take penalty? No, I think if Milivojevic starts, I think Zaha will not take the penalties because Milivojevic is the Designated penalty taker for Crystal Palace. The reason why Zaha took penalties is because he was not playing Milivojevic, so there might be a problem there with the penalties. Trent and James Rodriguez to Chilwell and Rashford. Yes, Devon, if you want and if you don't have to take a hit for this, I think that's a good idea. Pratik says, how old are you and what do you do for a living apart from saving us as a wizard? I'm actually working. I teach, so I can't reveal a lot about myself, my friend, but yeah, I'm 32 and yeah, I teach for a living. So yeah. Linear says Calvert-Lewin, Son, Salah or Kane captain. Not Calvert-Lewin, Salah or Kane. You decide, my friend. Take your pick based on your gut. Kane or Son. Akash, to be honest with you, I think Son is the more explosive, meaning he can get you more points. Kane is the safer pick. So if you want to go for explosion or safe, that is up to you, my friend. Hang on, let me have a drink of water, please. I've been talking too much. Okay, so Super M Gaming says heard Son tested positive for coronavirus. Oh, absolutely not. He played yesterday. He was fine. In the Europa League, he played the game. No, he hasn't tested, in my opinion. I mean, I haven't heard any news, but let's see what happens. Nintendo says, do I back a Wolves defense this weekend after an unlucky goal conceded last week? Nintendo, I mean, if you can't back a Wolves defense against Crystal Palace, who took one shot against Brighton, who can you back them against, my friend? I think you should definitely back Wolves defense against Crystal Palace. They can concede, you know, Zaha can have a moment of magic, but that's true for any game, right? So yeah. Peter says, I've picked Salah captain and Kane vice captain. I think Liverpool are the better team. They still have their attacking output left. You're right, Peter. I like your choice, my friend. Lee says it's your final team. Yes, Lee, this is my final team, my friend, and I hope it does well. And wish you good luck as well. Geeta says Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Rodriguez out for Jorginho and Werner or Vardy. I wouldn't do it, my friend. I would keep Rodriguez on the bench and I would play Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Geeta. That's my opinion, my friend. You take your pick, please. Nehal says we have the same exact defense. Even I am trusting Saiz to start and come good. Hopefully one goal. That would be awesome, Nehal, innit? I think if Saiz doesn't start, it's just bad luck. It's down to bad luck. You know, there is nothing to suggest that he won't start. So in my opinion, he should be fine. I am Sully says, would you switch Mitrovic? Not for this game week. Never. He plays against West Bromwich Albion. I mean, if you had Mitrovic up to now, why would you switch him out for this game? This is ideal for Mitrovic. Nope. So just keep him. FPL Sam says, last week predicted Firmino Hall. This week predicting a Traore Hall. My friend, you should predict a Podence Hall, because if Traore halls, that means Podence isn't playing. Podence and Traore they sub for each other. Lee Cohen says, why are you sticking with Havertz? That's a very good question, Lee, because I actually planned him to move for James Rodriguez, but since James is injured right now, I don't have any other moves that I want to make. Maybe Rashford, but I just like the James transfer more, so I wait for one more game week and then I transfer him out for James Rodriguez. That was my transfer this week, but with James injured, I just roll my transfer. Excuse me. Geeta says Kilman or Mitchell. I think I'd go with Kilman, my friend. Guys, again, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, if I had Kilman and Mitchell, I'd bench Mitchell and I'll start Kilman. Aditya says, what is your thought on transferring in Bamford or Brewster with a -4 hit? If you want to, I mean, I'm not so interested with a hit. If it was a free transfer, I'd say yes, but maybe wait one more game week, my friend. Not sure Bamford is gonna get hauls every game week. Like, he might get a goal or two, but not much in that. So if you want to do it, it's your decision, but there's not gonna be much in that. Nike says Mitrovic hat-trick incoming. Where's he's my cap? Nike, don't scare me like that, my friend. I'm already scared of the Fulham assets this week. I think Ademola Lookman and Mitrovic can do well against West Brom. Fulham have looked better, although they've not been getting the results. They've been playing better, guys. By the way, I think around 10 minutes are left for the deadline, guys. So if you haven't selected your teams, in front of you. Let me lock my team as well. Let me refresh. So I hope my team is logged. No last minute panic stuff here. There you go. My team is logged, and Walker Peters 1, Bissouma, Taylor. Watch Taylor get a goal against Chelsea now. Kane captain, Salah. I think my team's fine now. There you go. Right. What about Rashford captain? Not for captaincy, Aman. If you have him in your team, that's a good enough differential anyway. For captaincy, I can't say that he's a better captain option than Salah or Kane. All the best for this game week, says Geeta. Good luck to you too, my friend. Nigel says Kane for Ings or Grealish for Barnes. I have Son, by the way. I think Ings is a good option to keep throughout the season. I think Ings can get you 1 goal in any game. Grealish for Barnes seems more logical, my friend, that way. Wilson to Bamford? I don't think so, my friend. I'd keep Wilson. Keep him throughout the season. He'll get you similar points like Bamford. Aditya says, thanks, Wiz. You're welcome, Aditya. Nike says, by the way, if Saiz is benched, will it be a start to Markal if I'm the new rightful? It depends, this Nuri guy is also there, but I feel that if Saiz is benched, that might mean start for Markal, yeah. Avishka says 3.1 in the bank, Foden to Rashford, or hold Foden for James. Both are good transfers, Avishka. It depends on who you prefer, right? I have the same option. I can transfer Havertz out for Rashford, or I can wait for James, and I'm waiting for James, so that's my decision, but I'm telling you both are good options. Nintendo says, thanks for your advice so far. Last one, should I place Patricio or McCarthy in goal? To be honest with you, I think Patricio seems like the better pick, but it's touch and go, my friend. That's the reason I say don't have 2 playing keepers. It gives you headaches, always. Jackson says, who's your captain? Jackson, my captain is Kane, my friend. Hamza says, transfer out James for Grealish for a -4. If you want to keep Grealish long term, you can do it, my friend. If not, you can keep James on the bench, and he'll be back next game week. So it's your call, my friend. Is there any Podence replacement worth a -4 hit? I don't think so. I mean, if you want, you can go for McGinn or somebody like, Barkley, but not for a hit, in my opinion. Podence or NATO? Neither, my friend. If you're transferring them in, I wouldn't go for Podence or NATO. Not the best picks at 5.5 million. At 5.5, go for McGinn. I am Sully says, why aren't people captaining Sterling? I think a lot of people are captaining Sterling. We've seen a lot of them in this chat as well. So I think, there will be a few Sterling captains. FPL Sam says, can I expect something from Bellerin this week? Think that this question sums up my team. FPL Sam, to be honest with you, I think season long, Bellerin can be a good option if he stays fit, because Arsenal will get some clean sheets this season, and if he can get you an attacking bonus, that means a double point haul. So this game week, it's hard to say, because United are kind of, either they bang or they miss, so kind of hit and miss at this moment. United, very hard to judge. Jackson says, whom to transfer in place K? I'm sorry, bro, I didn't get your question. Gogula says, Captain Kane or Son? Bro, I have Son and Kane, my choice, I always say, if you want to go for the more explosive one, more risk, more reward. Less risk, less reward. Son, more risk, more reward. Kane is the safer one. Shrikant says, Captain Kane or Salah? Shrikant, I can't answer that, my friend. You decide with your gut instinct, bro. Jared says, should I play Barkley or Dominic Calvert-Lewin this week? Jared, if you have that problem, you might have you will have an amazing team, my friend. But if I was you, I would definitely play Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Nike says, thanks, Wiz. Great time discussing here. May all the arrows be green. Yeah, good luck to you too, my friend. May the arrows be green. Lee Khan says, Zaha in for Havertz. The next 5 fixtures not the hardest. Think he's a better option. Lee, I think this is a good option, but not for this game week. If you have Havertz, keep Havertz for this game week and transfer in Zaha for next game week if you want to, right? That way we get a chance to look at Havertz against Burnley and also navigate the difficult fixture of Zaha. Success says, what's up, bro? Good to hear your voice again. Hey, Success. Welcome to the live stream. Nice to have you here, my friend. Joan says, I have 9.3 million to replace James Rodriguez. Any ideas? I don't have any midfielder in that category, my friend. The only one you can think about is Rashford. He's 9.5, so I think it's better to go for somebody like Zaha for you, because there are not many options in this price range. I can say Hakim Ziyech or Pulisic, but I want to see them play before I can recommend them to you. Trailer says how many wildcards you get in a season. Trailers, you get 2 wildcards, one for the first half of the season, one for the second half of the season. If you don't use your first wildcard by the half of the season is over, it expires and then you get a new wildcard. Nehal says Salah is due a few goals. Would you go with him? Have Kane and Son too? I'm worried. Nehal, I was very close to going with Salah, to be honest with you. It's just that I feel that Brighton play a high line, kind of like Southampton, right? And I can see Son and Kane combining for a couple of goals, and you know, I have a few reasons to think that Salah will score as well, because he has a good record against West Ham. So it's very difficult, because I saw the games. I saw Salah play over the weekend in midweek. I saw Kane play in the Europa League. I see them. I saw all the things, and I still couldn't make the decision. So I went with my gut. So Shrikant says, would you play Kilman or Lamptey? Out of these two, I'd possibly play Lamptey, my friend. Hard to say, but I'd play Lamptey. Yared says, best replacement for James long term. I think for long term, Grealish is a good option. Watkins or Podence? Watkins, my friend. Joe Hale says, Captain Son, Bamford or Werner after his performance. Captain Son, my friend. Captain Son. Out of these 3, Captain Son. Castan for Chilwell. Is that an okay transfer? Is a good transfer. So definitely. Atul says, shall I switch Sterling to De Bruyne or save one transfer? Don't transfer Sterling to De Bruyne. Keep Sterling, my friend. Trailer says, how often do you get free transfers? Every game week you get 1 free transfer, Trailers. It's Mr. May says, Lamptey or Lewis? Hang on. Sometimes I have this crazy... I can't remember who a certain team plays against. Hang on. Lamptey or Lewis? I think Lamptey, my friend. Very hard to say, but to be honest with you, they are almost similar, right? Saleh says, hi bro, how are you? Who to captain this week? Very confusing. Sterling, Robo, Bruno, Kane. Out of these, I'd captain Kane, my friend. Bakshat says, deadline coming soon, lock your teams. Guys, last 5 minutes, lock your teams, like the stream. And if you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate. Guys, I'm very close to 2,000 subs, and I would like to get to 2,000 so that I can get this 2,000 number and we can move forward. El Padrino says Jones. Oh, okay. Matthew Brown says sell Robertson and Bissouma for Kilman and Zaha. No, Matthew, I wouldn't do it. Joe Archer says Podence or Neto. None of the two, my friend. If you have to pick one, I'd pick Neto, but none of the two. Trailer says keep up the good work, mate. Thank you so much, my friend. Take care. Success says Salah's record at Anfield against non-top 6 opposition over the years at Liverpool was unlucky last weekend. Still a better captain option. I wouldn't say better. I'd say he's equally good as Kane. You know, I think they can both bang. And Salah is now the designated penalty taker for Liverpool. That's a big thing, guys. Milner was on the pitch and Salah took the penalty. That's a big thing. For Salah captainers, that's a big thing. Mahad says Salah or Son captain. Out of these two, possibly Salah. Namrit says Son or Salah for captain. Namrit, out of these two, Salah. Jirat says 5-minute warning, lock and load, fellas. IDX says, love you, Wiz, bro. Good luck. Love you too, my friend. Thank you for being here. Joe says, cheers. Had to pick the 2 and got NATO. Good luck, my friend. Actually, for 5.5 million, I would go with McGinn, but if you had to pick one of the 2, so I think that's fine. Peter says, you're less than 10 subs away from 2K. Guys, 10 subs. Can we do it in this live stream? Not so sure. But thank you so much for being here, guys. Not obsessed with any of this stuff. Success says, best mid under 8. Grealish or Barkley? I think out of these two, Grealish has more chance, my friend. If Barkley is on penalties for Aston Villa, I would say Barkley, but I am not sure. People keep saying it's Barkley, but I am not sure. It's Zaha, a good shout. Zaha, you mean, yeah. It's fine. Maybe not for this game week, but, you know, it could be a good shout from coming next game week, right? So, I'll say subscribed already. Thank you so much, Atul. So guys, 3 minutes to go. Lock and load your teams, my friends. If you want, we have a Discord community. You can join that. The link is in the description. You want to follow me on Twitter? You can follow me. The handle is on the screen. Adrian says Zags or Foden. I assume you mean Zaha, right? I think I'd go with Zaha out of these two. I think he just has more about him. Yeah, I got that, my friend. So yeah, I think Zaha out of these two. So I guess the questions have reduced, guys. So I hopefully answered all your questions. I would be really glad because there were too many questions on the stream tonight, and I had to sometimes skip a few questions, and I apologize for that. But I try my best, my friends. Sometimes it's just not possible. What are these rumors that Size won't play, says Thierry Henry? Oh, Thierry Henry's here in the stream, guys. My favorite player. Loved Thierry Henry. But Thierry Henry, to be honest with you, I think these rumors are generating from FPL more than from Wolves, so I wouldn't be too worried about that. Peter says defender watch list. Chilwell is on my watch list. Number 1 is Chilwell, Peter, and I'm liking the look of Cresswell as well. So I'll possibly get Chilwell in the next few weeks. I think he is a good asset to own. At 5.7 million, I think he's worth it. And similarly with the West Ham defender, I think I might get one, you know. And to be honest with you, one more defender who's on my list is Bellerin. I know you all might think it's kind of a joke, but yeah, Bellerin. Best captain punt, Son. If you want to take a punt, go for Son. Many people are going with Salah, Kane, so punt is Son or Sterling if you have him. Tierney to Chilwell, someone else, 6 million budget. I think Tierney to Chilwell is a decent move. If you want to keep Tierney, fair enough. I think Arsenal will get some defensive points this season, but I think Chilwell is a better option at the moment. Mahmoud says Doherty play Justin or Walker Peters on the bench this week. Play Justin, my friend. It's very difficult to say. Struijk or Mitchell to start? Start with the Struijk or Mitchell. Mitchell. Oof, guys, come on. 1 minute left. Lock your teams. Don't ask me questions now. Come go and lock your teams. I don't want you to miss the deadline. Think about selling Sterling in for Son for the next game week. Should I do it? Think about Sterling in for Son. Don't worry about the next game week, Shivan. But yeah, we'll talk about that, you know. But keep Son. For the next 2 game weeks, I would keep Son. Definitely. Guys, last minute. Come on. Lock your teams, guys. Not much time left at all. I'm going to refresh my team. Just want to check everything is done. Salah vice captain, Kane captain. There you go, guys. The deadline is over. So there you go, guys. That is all for this game week. I hope all the questions were answered. I hope you got your teams logged, and I hope you were able to relax a little bit by the end. Yo, Wiz, gotten Zaha for James Rodriguez, says Shulendra. That's fine, Shulendra. Long term, I think it will be fine, bro. Don't worry about it. Halim says, oh, here we go. Yep, here we go, my friends. The deadline is over. It's time to relax. Remember, you spend so much time making your decisions. Don't repent or don't kind of feel bad about your decisions when they go wrong, or whatever happens during the game week. It's not in your control. Guys, I think we sweat or we fret too much about a game that gives us one decision to make every game week. Somebody said that on Twitter and I liked it, so I'm quoting it, but I don't remember who said it, so I don't know. But guys, it gives us one decision to make every week, and we spent ages researching the stats and looking through stuff. But once you've made the decision, it's time to relax, my friends. It's fine, it's a game, and it's a game of 38 game weeks. You don't have a good game week, reset, go again. Do not let your feelings be your guide in this game. It's gonna be very, very hard for you otherwise, right? By the way, and when I say instinct, I would like to explain myself. Instinct means you are watching the games, you have seen how the player is playing, and you've read the stats, and then you make your decision with your instinct. If you say, I'm not watching the games, I'm not reading the stats, but my instinct says that Zaha is going to score a hat-trick this game week, I mean, that is not what I mean by instinct. When I say it in the live stream, I want you to watch the games, and I want you to read the stats. I mean, I tell you some stats on the stream as well, but when I tell you to go with the instinct, if you've not been watching the games and you've not been reading the stats, then it's better to go with the decision of someone who has. Just saying, guys. Just saying. Ajay says, let's hope Kane captain brace. That would be really awesome, Ajay, in it. Shlender says, why did you roll your transfer, Wiz? Yeah, I rolled my transfer. Matthew has given us a heart, and that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Is Mitchell okay? I hope so, my friend. Yo Wiz made Bale to Rashford. That's a good transfer, Devendra. I like that. I like that so much. Guys, we've got 57 of you on the live stream. Come on, give me some likes. I would really like that. Halim says, who do you think will get the most points this game week? To be honest with you, my friend, it's very hard to say, and I think it could be one of a Liverpool player or a Spurs player, but very hard to say. It could be, back of the mind I have, it could be a United player as well, but I hope not. I hope not, since they play against Arsenal. Sayud says I played Socek over Walker Peters. Good idea, my friend. I think that's a good idea. Nehal says stream like. Thank you so much, Nehal. I appreciate it, my friend. Noel says, bro, I made Jimenez captain, taking a risk in life. Noel, that's fine. That's fine. You know, victory belongs to those who dare. Willie says, I gave you a like my first time here. I loved your soft-voiced approach. Thank you so much, my friend. I really appreciate it. And I hope I see you next time as well. Devendra says, wish I had known your channel from last 2 seasons. Devendra, to be honest with you, the best time to know my channel would be in the 2019 and 20 season. 2018-19 season. I got top 500, and that would be so fantastic. If I could help you all to get there, that would be so good, because that would make so many people happy, and that's what I like, right? Noel says, I subscribe, bro. Thank you, Noel. Matt Hanley says, did Sias to Chilwell and Rodriguez to Grealish? Need to be sure of a starting 11. That's a good approach, Matt. I like that. I hope you didn't take a hit, but that's a good approach. I like it. Shlinder says, Discord. Oh yeah, of course. Guys, if you want to join my Discord, the link is in the description. It's free to join, no strings attached, and we've got some nice guys there talking FPL in a pleasant way. So if you want that kind of an environment to discuss FPL, do consider joining us on Discord as well. Noel says, where are you from, mate? I'm from India, Noel. I'm from Punjab in India. Trailer says, hoping for a Zaha goal. I hope not, my friend. I'd lose 4 points from Saiz, and I'd lose 1 point from Foden. That's 5 points. That's too much for me. But who cares? Who cares? Who knows what's going to happen, my friend? Because we've locked our teams. Nothing is in our control now. We can only watch and enjoy. Don't let FPL spoil your days, guys. There's much more important things in life. Halim says, I heard a rumor that Saiz isn't playing, so I changed him. I hope I don't regret it. It's fine. It's fine. Your team is locked, my friend. Whatever decisions you made, let's owe those decisions. It's fine. Let's own those decisions, I mean. Pulisic or Ziyech? My friend, the deadline is gone. But if I had to choose one, I'd choose Pulisic. Desmond says, bring us top 10k this season. Desmond, I wish, I wish I was a real wizard and I could use some magic ball to see the future. I would take you all to the best rank possible, but I'll try my best, guys. I see all the stats, I see all the games as much as I can, right? I have a family and but I try my best, guys, and I hope I can help you. Billy says, I will be back next week, sir. I'm in the UK. I hope the weather is better in India. It's raining here this weekend. Billy, the weather in India is getting really pleasant. At least where I'm in India. I'm in North India, right? The weather is getting really pleasant. Beautiful temperatures, and I hope it gets better for you too, my friend. Nehal says, how do you deal with a bad game week? Nehal, I just, reset. I have some experience with FPL, so I know that a bad game week is not the end of it all. So I just try to bounce back, right? I mean, I always give an example, and I think it's becoming a cliche, but I was around 2.5 million last season, and I managed to finish in the top 100k. I had lots of pathetic game weeks. I just reset, I don't let a previous game week affect my next week decision or my long-term decisions, which I've already made. So you stick to the plan, you stick to the process, and you're fine, right? Just nail your captain picks. You shall be fine, my friend. I think the most important thing, guys, I say it again and again, if you nail your captain picks, you have a good season. That's the most important thing in FPL. If you have to listen to one advice of me and never join my stream again, listen to this. Nail your captain picks. Go for the safe captain picks and keep nailing them. You'll have a good season. Shlinder says 2 people joined our Discord. That's awesome, Shlinder. I hope we can grow our community. It's over 100 now, so really enjoying that, right? Even though I'm not that much active there, you guys are much more active than I am, but I really enjoy your chats. I do read them. FPL Sam says, looks like Vinagre gonna come back and play tonight. Who knows, FPL Sam? This is a crazy season, isn't it? Ram says, I hope Vardy scores a hat-trick this game week, but not just by scoring a penalty. That's true, my friend. Everybody blames Bruno Fernandes as Bruno Penandes, right? But Vardy scores lots of penalties as well. Nobody talks about that. I guess it's, some kind of a crazy bias. Renda says 3 and counting. Nice. Swapped Calvert-Lewin for Ings because I don't think Calvert-Lewin won't get assists and won't be consistent. What do you think? That's fine, my friend. Fine. I think Ings is a good option. Calvert-Lewin is good, but Ings is good too. So yeah, call me Jug. Alright, Jug, that's fine. Matt says, enjoy the highs of good FPL weeks and just switch off and forget about it. When you do bad, stay off social media as well. That's exactly why I started this Discord, guys. Because, when you have a bad game week and you go to Twitter, there are people posting crazy scores, But remember, the people who don't get a good score, they will never post. Just like me, when I get a bad score, I'll just go away and hide somewhere, right? So when you see all these crazy scores, it makes you feel more sad, and you feel Twitter is a small bubble and you feel so sad. So that's the reason I say, it's fine, guys. Just let things happen. Stick to the process. Stick to your plan. It's gonna be fine. Noel says, I have no Son or Kane because I support Arsenal. Noel, keep FPL and Premier League aside. I support Arsenal as well. Kane is my captain for the last 3 game weeks, guys. Come on. It's fine, FPL, if we combine FPL and Premier League fandom together, it doesn't work out, my friend. Devendra says, I know you are an Arsenal fan, but I want United to win. That's fine, my friend. We all want our teams to win, and yeah, it hurts, but what can we do? Hi, bro, Jimenez replacement, please. I'm not sure if you should replace him, my friend, but if you want to, I think Danny Ings is a very good option. I like that option. Willie says, people who post their crazy scores never post when they get rubbish ones, unless it's last game week when everyone did. That's absolutely true. And that's the reason why I made this Discord, right? The reason is because I want a pleasant place to discuss, even when we all have a bad game week, or some of us have a good game week and some have a bad game week. We congratulate those who have good game weeks, but at least they don't rub it in. And that's important, guys. It affects the psychology. FPL is related to psychology a lot. Matthew Brown says, didn't change anything in the end. We'll roll over to next week. I think that's a good idea for this week, my friend. I think most of our teams look good and the players we have good fixtures. And if we can nail the captain picks, I think we should be fine. Ram says, Bellerin assist. Hopeful for that. I hope so too, my friend. Will Sterling do anything this week, says Twisted Logic? I think so, Twisted Logic. Why shouldn't he? He has a good fixture and he is in good form. Why not? Shivam says, if DCL flops this game week, time to sell him. I am not selling Dominic Calvert-Lewin until he blanks for 10 game weeks, my friend. I think he's given us enough returns to convince us. By the time Richarlison is back and James is fit again, I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin will put away his chances. Not a problem. Ram says, bad game week will happen to everyone. We have to deal with it and focus on the plan. We will get good points soon. That's absolutely true. Good approach to play the game, Ram. I'm proud of you. Some says streaming until the lineups. Oh, FPL Some, no, I was just enjoying talking to all of you guys, so I just extended the stream by 10 minutes. But no, I'm not going to be streaming until the lineups. 2 hours is too much for my throat. Since I told you I'm a teacher, right? I have to speak there as well, and then I speak on the stream, then my throat starts hurting. So I guess I'll be off soon, my friend. And Noel says, bro, you don't even have an Arsenal player. I know, man. I told you. I don't keep FPL and Premier League together. I just keep them separate. That's the way you play it. Sterling could be up front or in the middle. Could be a great captain pick. Agree. Matt Hanley says, what are your thoughts on Podence? I've had to play him this week, but Wolves aren't exactly smashing it. Plus he gets taken off after 60 minutes. Sorry if you've already covered him. That's not a problem, my friend. But yeah, I think Podence looked like a really good pick on paper. He looks like a really good pick when he plays. He gets lots of chances. But I think that he's not coming through, and I think it might be time to transfer him out next game week. If he doesn't do well this game week, he's out of my team. Why did you take -4 hit this week? You mean the last week, right? I just took a hit because I didn't feel my keeper Ramsdale was good, and I didn't feel that Davis was just costing me too much money. He was falling in price every week, so I had to. Mendy's the safest keeper right now. I hope for a clean sheet again. Could be, my friend. Don't want to say anything about Chelsea defense. It's just too weird. Sometimes it clicks, sometimes doesn't. Devendra says, "Are you a programmer, Viz?" Not really, my friend. I more like you can say I work on graphic design, Premiere Pro, After Effects, things like this. I like doing that. That's a hobby of mine. By a profession, I'm a teacher, my friend. Nihal says Discord joined. Welcome, Nihal. I hope you enjoy this day, my friend. Matt Henley says agreed, it looks decent, but not FPL is set. Agreed, true, my friend. Sivan says think of selling Trent Alexander-Arnold, bringing Chilwell. Let's see how Trent does this game week, guys, and then we make this decision, right? Because Trent is exactly doing really well. So yeah, might be a good time to sell Trent. But let's see what he does this game week. I don't see anyone assisting DCL. Ram, who cares? I mean, Iwobi can assist him. Well, maybe, who knows? They've got Bernard, they've got Iwobi. I agree that it might not be the best game week to own Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but he's a long-term pick. Peter says, do you think the lower table teams have better keepers due to BPS and saves? Peter, I think that's a good point. That's a fair point. I think people like Martinez, I think really good because they have a high chance to keep a clean sheet. And even if they don't keep a clean sheet, they get battered, they get lots of save points. So yes, I think that's good. Even McCarthy, good option. When will be the best time to play my wildcard? When you don't like your team, Twisted Logic. I always say that, to be honest with you, don't use your wildcard when you get bad points. Use your wildcard when you have a bad team. When you don't like your team on paper, that is the time you should use your wildcard. FPL Some says your other channel is really good. By the way, guys, I own another channel in which I make football compilations. If you want to check that out, it is called Matrix Comps. And although this copyright stuff has been crazy lately and been getting some problems, but if you want, you can visit it. Shlendra says I'm going straight to our Discord after the stream to encourage new players. That's good, Jugs. Thank you so much. Thoughts on taking 1 or 2 hits to delay the wildcard? I mean, how many transfers would warrant a wildcard? I think if you are having to take a -12, I think that's the time when it would be okay to use a wildcard. If you're okay with a -8 and you don't have to use your wildcard, I think it can work, Nihal. But it's subjective, right? It's very hard to say it. Devinder says, man, your voice can be tough. Competition to FPL Tips channel's voice. Devinder, I'm never gonna get close to his voice. FPL Tips is amazing. His voice, the way he does his content, and his consistency. I really appreciate him as a really good manager as well. Ram says, I am hoping to get Rashford sooner if he performs well. That's cool. I mean, one United asset is a good idea, Ram, always. Some great advice being presented here, guys. Thank you so much, Willie. I've got really so much praise from you tonight. I hope you do well this game week, so the advice comes through for you. Twisted says, just subscribe because you connect with your fans. I like that. Thank you, Twisted. I appreciate that, my friend. I'm always going to be the same, no matter what. Matt says, who would you swap for James? I have 7.9 after I take him out. I would keep James. If you have James now, after the game week is over, I would keep James. He's going to be fit next game week. Don't transfer him out, my friend. But if I wanted to transfer him out, the obvious option would be Grealish, Zaha, maybe McGinn, but I wouldn't transfer him out. Ram says West Ham defenders impressed me. Yeah, they did well, but let's wait and see how they do against Liverpool, and then we can make a decision. Alrighty, guys, so I've streamed 15 minutes. I've spoken to you all, and I really enjoyed it, but I guess to rest my voice, I'm gonna have to end the stream right now, and believe me, I'm having so much fun. I don't want to end the stream, but guys, gonna see you again as well. Next week aftermath stream. After the game week is over, guys, I do a live stream with my raw reactions. So if you like this stream, do come back and we talk about all the matches. I give you a brief summary of the game week that might help you for FPL, and then there's also a deadline stream. So I look forward to seeing you guys, and I hope you have a good game week. May the arrows be green. FPL Wizard signing off, guys. Take care and have a great game week. Bye bye.